If you are enjoying these giant bedtime stories and want to follow along on the giant's adventures, please hit the subscribe button down below. Also, don't forget to like this story. Enjoy the meditation.
Tell me a giant story.
All right, it's time to lay down and get yourself comfortable in your bed. Find your favorite blanket, your favorite pillow, and maybe if you have one, your favorite stuffed animal. Snuggle in. Take a deep breath in through your nose and let it out gently through your mouth. Are you ready to hear another story? Tonight, I want to tell you the tale of Thread the Bunny. Thread the Bunny was very cute. He had grayish, brownish fur and a cute little cottontail. There was something very unique about Thread. His name was Thread because when he was born, he didn't want to eat anything normal bunnies ate. He only wanted to eat clothing, things that were made of thread. This got to be pretty difficult for him because bunnies don't wear clothes. It was difficult for Thread and his mom to find a meal for him to eat. Thread would have to wander further from his burrow to find a proper meal for himself. For Thread, it was the luckiest day in the world when he found out where the troll under the bridge lived. One night after the troll was done with his busy day of trying to eat the 3 billy goats gruff that would march across his bridge every day, he was followed home by Thread the Bunny. The next day, when the troll woke up to start another day of trying to eat the billy goat's gruff who trapped over his bridge, Bunny snuck into the troll's house and found some pants. And Thread the Bunny wasn't just unique in that he ate clothes, he was also very smart. That day, when he found the pants, he took a nibble over the knees. That way, the troll would think his pants were just old and had worn-out knees. But it didn't last long, as the troll didn't have very many pants. So Thread the Bunny was left hungry once again. He had to go out in search of another source of clothes to eat. He hopped for many days until he came to a village on a grassy knoll that housed garden gnomes. They appeared very friendly and never threatened to eat any billy goats, so the bunny felt quite comfortable around them. When Thread wanted a meal, he was very careful to only take one item of clothing a night. Then one night, the gnomes had a garden party. Thread took that opportunity to go take all of the socks in the village and eat them. He even had some left over, and they lasted him for months. And then when he was just about to run out of socks to eat, the gnomes had another party. This time, it was a harvesting party, and they were going to be so busy and gone for many hours and even into the night. Thread noticed how much work they had to get done and took this opportunity to go and steal all of the gnomes' pants. When the gnomes got home that evening, they noticed that all their pants were gone. Just like that time they had a garden party and all their socks were missing. They thought this was very suspicious and put guards up, so this kind of thing would never happen again. And Thread, being a smart bunny, saw the guards, and he would wave to them every morning and every evening, and all the gnomes would say, "Oh, look at that cute bunny." All along, Thread was the one that had been taking their clothes. None of the gnomes suspected it would be a cute little bunny stealing their clothes and eating them. Many months later, Thread ate all of the gnomes' pants. He was in need of more clothes to eat. So he did what any bunny would and followed the rainbow. He followed the rainbow all the way to the end. Now, he didn't find gold, but he did find a pack of leprechauns. And if you know leprechauns, they like their tricks. They would never suspect anything or anyone to be playing tricks on them. Red knew that leprechauns being tricksters would be suspicious of a new bunny in town. So he laid low for a while and devised a plan while he still had the gnome pants left to eat. Thread devised a plan. He was working closely with a farmer nearby, and instead of getting paid in carrots like all the normal bunnies would, he had the farmer pay him in gold. Because Thread was a smart bunny, and he knew how much leprechauns loved their gold. Once he collected enough of the gold, he made a box out of mirrors to place the small amount of gold coins he was given. He then placed gold coins directly in the sunlight, which then reflected gold shimmers everywhere. This caught the attention of those leprechauns. Soon, were giddily galloping towards what they thought was a huge pile of gold. As soon as there was more than one leprechaun at that box, the fights began. Those leprechauns are greedy little creatures, and they didn't like to share their gold with anyone, not even each other. While the leprechauns bickered about who got to keep the gold and who got there first and who was the biggest and who was the strongest, Thread snuck over to their homes, got inside, and ate as many clothes as he could. Once his belly was full as can be, he grabbed as many of the leprechaun outfits as he could and headed for the hills. He knew those leprechauns were going to come back angry, and he didn't want to see it. Soon after making his getaway from the leprechauns, Thread came to some forest. This forest had ginormous trees, and as he wandered in, he saw fairies flying. He followed those fairies back to their homes, where he met a fairy princess The fairy princess, Esmeralda, introduced herself to Thread and told him that she could tell he was up to no good, and she wasn't going to let him get away with anything. Thread could see it in Esmeralda's eyes. She was a good, honest fairy princess, and he was so tired of sneaking around eating people's clothes. So he told her everything. He told her about the troll and the garden gnomes and how he had tricked the leprechauns. He told her that he had really truly tried to eat carrots like a normal bunny when he worked for a farmer, but the carrots made his belly ache, and all he could really stand was eating things like socks and pants and shirts and dresses and scarves. Esmeralda said, "I understand. Give me a few moments. I will try to think of a good solution." She put together a fairy council where they discussed what could be done about a bunny who ate clothes. And when she had come up with a brilliant idea, she took it to Thread. "Oh, dear Thread," she said empathetically, "I understand how hard this must be for you. The only thing you can eat are clothes, and the only way you found to do that is by stealing other creatures' things. Well, I am here to guide you to a place that you will love to visit. It is a place where people send their unwanted clothing. That way, when you get there, you can eat all you wish, and no one will feel sad because they come home to no clothes." Fred responded, "Really? Really real? Is this place true? I can go there and eat as many clothes as I want, and no one would be upset or missing pants?" "This place," Esmeralda told him, "really real is real, and I will send you there. I'm going to use my magic wand." Esmeralda showed Thread her fairy wand, which sparkled in the sun. "I will use my wand to teleport you to a place called the thrift store. And there you can nibble on one item every once in a while. Maybe find an item with a stain on it or a hole." Fred was extremely excited about this idea. "Oh, I can't wait to get there," he told Esmeralda. "There's just one thing," Esmeralda said. "I've never teletransported anyone before. This is my very first time, and I hope I can do it properly." Fred trusted Esmeralda and said, "I think you can do it, even if it's your first time. This place sounds magical, and I can't wait to visit." Esmeralda lifted up her wand, said some magical words, and Thread disappeared. Esmeralda said, "Well, I hope that worked out. Oh well, at least the bunny will no longer be stealing any clothing from the creatures of my hill." Many months went by, and Esmeralda decided to search for Thread. She went to thrift store after thrift store until finally she found him in the back in a box with clothing that had missing buttons or broken zippers or holes or stains in it. She spotted him. He looked different though. His ears were where his tail should be, and his tail was where his ears were supposed to be. Esmeralda said, "Oh no, oh no! Fred, is that you? Oh, I've made a terrible mistake. I am so sorry. Your ears are on your back." Fred heard something, looked up, and said, "Oh, hi, Esmeralda. What was that? I couldn't hear you. Here, let me turn around." Fred turned around so that now his ears were pointing at Esmeralda. Esmeralda said, "I am so sorry. I had no idea your ears and your tail would switch spots. And now you have a tail unicorn and you have ear tails. Oh, I'm so sorry." Fred turned his face back around to meet with Esmeralda and told her, "Oh, that's okay. It's fine. I'm so happy to be here and not have to sneak around anymore. The only complaint I have is when I toot, it's very loud. And when I get excited, my head wags back and forth. But honestly, I can't complain after all of that time in my life when I was sneaking around and taking people's clothes. I suppose this is what I get. I just look on the bright side, because now no one can sneak up on me." Esmeralda offered to teletransport Fred back to the forest. Fred told Esmeralda he was the happiest he'd ever been in his whole life, and please leave him at the thrift store with his ears on his bum and his tail on his head. And that's exactly what she did. And Fred lived in the thrift store for the rest of his days, happily munching on the clothing humans had thrown away. The end. Good night, Giants.